Okay, welcome back to session again. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Just once you're able to see my screen, say yes in chat box, please. Is it visible? Anybody? Chat box. Okay, yeah, thanks. Okay, thank you. So we'll continue. So we were in our first class. We were at regular inspections, and we'll continue from point three, the pressure relief valves. To ensure the pressure relief valves are installed and also functional to prevent the overpressure situations that could lead to explosions. So pressure vessels, in the sense, all the pressure vessels has to be inspected. Even the boiler inspector visits every year for each boiler they will inspect. So in those cases also, they will see all the performance of these pressure relief devices, etc. So we should be maintaining all these devices under proper condition. Then water treatment, that is also again a major primary area where we have to uh, focus on to maintain proper water quality and the chemical treatment to prevent scale building or corrosion, also other water related issues that can affect the boiler efficiency and safety of the boiler. So when we give impure water, or if the minerals in the water is very high, what will happen over a period of time? It will scales up in the water tubes. It will limit the capacity of the boiler, and also over a period of time, it can leads to equipment failure. Then combustion air supply, so provides adequate ventilation and also combustion air to ensure a complete and safe combustion of fuels to avoid the CO, carbon monoxide generation, so that you will have effective combustion, resulting you will get a better performance of your boiler, as well as fuel efficiency. You will not consume more fuel, and also we can avoid the accidents. Then flue gas ventilation, ensure that a process exhaust and also ventilation system are in place to safely remove the combustion byproducts, and also such as carbon monoxide, CO2, etc. So when you are burning a fuels, definitely you will have flue gases which will be generate. That is in a basic funda. So we have to have proper systems in place to take out those exhaust gases. Then fire and gas detection. So install the fire and gas detection systems to quickly identify potential hazards, and also initiate appropriate responses. Gas detection is majorly that CO gas detection. Hence, it is colorless and odorless. It will toxic. So we should have these gas detections to identify the early situations before it is reaching to the toxic atmosphere. Then emergency shutdowns. So we have a clear marked emergency shutdown procedure. So how like we'll have a procedure for the fire drills and mock drills, etc. Same way, emergency shutdown procedures are in place, and also those procedures are well understood by the all the operators and also emergency rescue uh, management system as well. And here the clearly marked emergency procedures and shutdown procedures and switches for immediate boiler shutdown in case of any safety concerns. For example, like our emergency push buttons. The same way, what are the various activities we have to perform while uh, shutting down the boiler. Then personal protective equipment (PPEs) to provide and also enforce the use of appropriate PPEs such as gloves and safety goggles, flame-resistant clothing, and in case of any working near the boilers. So anyone or whoever is working near the boilers, they should have all these PPEs. The clearance and also accessibility. So maintain proper clearance around the boiler for easy access, inspection, and maintenance. So around the equipment, you should not dump whatever the material or access anything, etc. In and around the boilers. We have to maintain proper clearance and accessibility to reach certain valves or relay valves, etc. Now we'll see about the preservation. So basically, preservation in the sense some of the companies they use these boilers on seasonal basis. After the season, they it will go for shutdown. So short-term preservation or long-term preservation. Sometimes these boilers they may not operate for years also, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, etc. Okay, so there are two types. One is short-term preservation and long-term preservation. When we say preservation, so we are keeping them safe or storing them safe, so that what will happen? So it can be reusable later point of time. Like we have refrigerators, so where we preserve our food, so that what will happen? We can use it for a later point of time. Okay, so now we understand the procedure for a short-term preservation. It is moreover similar comparing with long-term and short-term. We'll see in detail. One is drain the boiler. That is the first process or the first step in the preservation procedure. If the boiler will be ideal for a short-term period, consider draining the water into a prevent stagnation and also microbial growth. Make sure a flow proper procedure for draining and also refilling the boiler. So once you start the preservation process, you have to drain the water completely. The flush water sites, if the draining is not feasible, consider running clean water through the system to flush out any contaminants before shutting down. So if the draining is not happening without any external involvement, so you have to flush with the fresh water. Then maintain the dryness. So ensure before shutting down, you have to maintain a dryness. Okay, ensure the boiler and its components are dry before shutting down. Moisture can lead to corrosion, especially in the areas with a stagnant of water. So we have to ensure that there is no water stagnation inside the boiler, and before shutting down, we have to ensure that all the components, all the fittings which is inside the boiler completely are dry. And protecting exposed surfaces. Cover the exposed metal surfaces with rust inhibitors or any protective coating to prevent the corrosion. Applying oil or paint, etc. Wherever it is applicable to avoid the rusting of the exposed surfaces. Then ventilation. Maintain proper ventilation in the boiler room to prevent any humidity buildup. So if your ventilation is there, there will not be any humidity, so that we can avoid corrosion as well due to resulting of this humidity. Okay. Then long-term preservation. So when I say long-term preservation, it is goes for several years to months. The short term it goes for a few weeks. Sometimes the long term it will go for months as well. One is a drain and dry. Again, the same procedure. Completely, we have to drain the boiler and thoroughly dry all the water containing surfaces, and we use proper compressed air to remove any remaining moisture. So we'll apply dry air so that over a period of time we can take out the complete moisture, and add corrosion inhibitor if the draining is not possible. So introduce a suitable corrosion inhibitor into the water to protect the internal surfaces, and consult with chemical treatment specialist for the appropriate inhibitors. So we use if the draining is not possible, so we use certain types of chemicals. We'll add with those water so that they are not going to generate any corrosion in the boiler components. Then seal openings, close all the seal openings such as inspection pots or to prevent the moisture from the entering inside the boiler. So wherever we have openings, we have to close all the openings or seals, etc., to avoid entering of any moisture to the boiler components or chamber. Then protective coating. So we have to apply a protective coating on the interior surfaces to prevent any corrosion, or consult with again coating experts to choose a right type of coating. It does not mean that whatever the available we can use. So we have to use the proper one so that you'll have uh, a good effect of those inhibitors or coating material. Then regular inspections, so periodically inspect and also inspect the preserved boiler to ensure that the preservation measures are effective, and make any necessary adjustments. So it is not mean that once okay you have done you have followed all the procedure, okay, सब ठीक, सब कुछ ठीक है, nothing has to be worried. So we have to cross check. So whatever the procedure we followed, whether it is giving the intended results or not, whether the boiler is preserved properly. In case if you are found any formation of rust or etc., the humidity is increasing or the moisture is entering inside the boiler, then you have to take necessary actions. Then regular inspections. So periodically we have to inspect the boiler. Then documentation. Keep identified documents, detailed records for the preservation process, including dates, procedures, and also any chemicals used. So you have to uh, create a document, a preservation document, so that if the person is worked on at the time of preservation, if he is not there by the time you again restart the boiler, it will be helpful for them to understand how it's been uh, done, or what type of procedure followed and what type of chemicals used during the preservation process. Then treating a feed water. So it is crucial for aspect basically for the boiler operating systems to ensure efficient, also safe performance, while preventing corrosion, scale buildup, and also other water related issues. Proper feed water treatment helps to maintain integrity of the boiler system and also extend its lifespan. Here are some key considerations. So feed water, treating feed water system is very important. Like the humans, if you're not having proper diet intake, so what will happen, the overall cholesterol will increase, the cholesterol will uh, clog your blood vessels, resulting in will be away from the relations. So it will resulting in a death, heart attack, cardiac arrest, etc., etc. So that is very important that proper intake, or we have to maintain our body, or we have to give uh, a good diet so that you will have a long life, or the lifespan will increase. Same way, if you are giving a good water or proper treated water, even the boiler lifespan also will increase. Deaeration, so removing dissolved gases such as oxygen, carbon dioxide from the feed water is essential to prevent the corrosion. Oxygen can cause a pitting and also rusting of the boiler surfaces. Deaeration can achieved using a mechanical or deaerators and also chemical oxygen scavengers. That is the one option to remove the dissolved gases in the system. Then water softening, that is also one of the option. So we have softener plants. So many natural water surfaces contain minerals like calcium, magnesium, which can lead to scale buildup. Basically, these are the two minerals majorly uh, creates scaling up when you are used in the heating systems. And reduced boiler efficiency, the water softening through ion exchange or also other methods can prevent the this scale formation. So before feeding the boiler, take out all the magnesium and the calciums from the water so that we can avoid the scale formation in the boiler components. Okay. Then reverse osmosis RO. So this is also one process where we can treat our water in cases of where the water hardness is very high, or when the stringent water quality is required. Some of the sophisticated boilers. So RO system can be used to remove dissolved or the solids and minerals. Then chemical treatments, various chemical treatments can be added to the feed water to control the pH levels as well. So it depends on the type of water, quality of water, and also the type of boiler you are using. You can choose a different types of the treatment methods to avoid the scaling up of your boiler components. Then boiler water testing. So it is not mean that okay, तो system तो डाल दिए जो पानी तो treat हो रहा है, directly we are sending it to the boiler. No, it has to be tested. Once you have done the treatment, you have to understand or you have to know the performance of your treatment plant as well. One is regular testing the feed water and boiler water, the parameter of such as pH, alkalinity, hardness, dissolved oxygen, conductivity. These tests helps to ensure the water treatment is effective, and also uh, adjustments can be made if it is needed. Then blowdown. So regular and also controlled blowdown is necessary to remove accumulated solids and also prevent their concentrations. Proper blowdown helps to maintain water quality and also prevent scale building up. That is also one of the a key aspect we have to follow while operating the boilers. Then monitoring and control. So again, a proper implement the automated systems to monitor and control the feed water treatment process. Modern boilers often include integrated control system that adjust the treatment chemicals based on the real-time water quality. So with the artificial intelligence, we are getting no manual intervention adjustmenting of this treatment or adding of chemicals. So based on the water quality, it automatically adjusts itself to treat the water. Consulting with the experts, so this is also very important. Water treatment requirement can vary based on the factors such as I mentioned, boiler type and operating conditions, local water quality. We have to consult with the water treatment specialist or any chemical supplier to develop a customized treatment program. Okay, sorry. Then record keeping again. So regarding the water treatment also, we have to maintain the detailed records for the feed water treatments, because when we can say repeatedly record keeping, because the boiler comes under pressure vessels. So these inspections happens on regular intervals. In case of any accident happens, it will be catastrophic. So the damage will be very high, maybe in part of property wise, maybe if you can see in case of people which they are involved in the operations. So it is very critical that you should have proper documentation always. That's why we use only licensed boiler operators to operate. Apart from your education qualification, you should have a special qualification to operate the boilers. Again, maintain detailed records of the feed water treatment procedures, chemicals used, and also dosages, testing results. These records are essential for tracking and also effectiveness of the treatment program, and also troubleshooting any issues that arise. This is also very important. Then training and education. So we have to ensure all the persons are responsible for feed water treatment are properly trained and also knowledgeable about the specific requirements of the boiler system. Even the operators, the treatment water plants operators also should have a proper knowledge the quality of water which needed or to be feeded to the boilers. Okay, with this we have done with is 103. So from tomorrow we'll start is 104 topic. If you have any questions, you can put your questions in chat box. I'm happy to answer. So we can start freshly tomorrow is 104. Meanwhile, I'll take you. Any questions? We can put the detectors, Kumar. Yes, in the vicinity you can install the uh, sensors to detect the presence of CO. Boiler safety, I mean, there is no special certification. Only boilers operators will have the special certifications. They only authorized to operate. Until unless you are not having any licensed boiler operator, even you won't get the license also, or you won't get approvals to operate your boiler itself until unless you are not having any licensed boiler operator. That is nothing but certification. There is no special safety certification for the boiler. Only the licensed operators has to operate. Yes, there is in a boiler act uh, where we can see the all the requirements, like how to apply for the boiler, what are the roles and responsibilities of an I mean the boiler owner. I mean shifting of boilers or transfer of their license. Then even we can see how the inspections happens. So what is the role of a boiler inspector, and what are the do's and don'ts which has to be followed by the boiler operators, etc. That, as I mentioned in the initially, will cover in IS 105, which is a legislation paper. There will cover in detail, because in IS 103 it is majorly focused on what are the different types of operations and also safety precautions. So we'll not have any in detailed discussions here. In IS 105 we'll cover. Even in IS 103 we have construction topic also, because I'm not covering here due to we have a dedicated construction topic. I mean IS 107 construction safety. So there will cover the topic. Otherwise, construction also one of the topic in IS 103. Boiler consists of how many safety relief valves? It depends on, if I'm not wrong. I'm also not sure exactly. It depends on the pressure relief valves, because if you see a reactor itself, there will have a multiple safety relief valve. Even the pressure cooker also will have two relief valves. It depends on the capacity of the boiler, and also it depends on the design of the boiler. It does not mean that only one safety relief valve or two safety relief valve. It depends on multiple factors: capacity, and also the design of the boilers. The manufacturer will decide that. Different types of boilers will have different, multiple numbers of uh, safety valves. Any further questions? Okay, if there is no further questions, we can wind up for today. So from tomorrow, freshly we'll start IS 104. Thank you so much for joining today.